When people talk about cooperation with young children, it usually sounds like sharing, taking turns, or playing nicely together. But if you look closely during the day, that's not what most cooperation actually looks like. And if we only look for those bigger, obvious moments, we end up missing the small ones that matter more. So, like I had mentioned before, a lot of the times cooperation gets tied to things like sharing or being kind, but these are separate skills. A child can be kind and still not cooperate in a group. A child can refuse to share and still be cooperating in other ways. So if we only define cooperation as sharing or playing together, adults miss what's actually happening throughout the day. So cooperation is when a child adjusts what they are doing so things can work in a shared space. It's not always big and it's not always obvious. Most of the time, it shows up in a small way. Cooperation can look like waiting, not just standing there, but staying connected to what's happening while they wait. So they're watching, they're tracking, they're holding their place without interrupting. That's cooperation. It can look like watching before joining. So instead of jumping into play and taking over, the child pauses and observes what's already happening. So they're figuring out how to enter without disrupting. That's also cooperation. It can look like adjusting. Maybe they move over to make space. Maybe they change what they're doing because someone else is using something. They're not being told step by step. They're shifting based on what's happening around them. That's cooperation too. It can look like doing one small part of a larger task. So maybe picking up a few blocks or carrying one item, passing something to another child. It's not the whole job, but it's participation. That's cooperation. And sometimes cooperation looks like not disrupting something that's already working, not grabbing, not interrupting, not changing the direction of what's happening. That's also cooperation. So if adults are looking for big moments like sharing or group play, they miss all of this. And when they miss it, they don't respond to it. So children don't get feedback on exact behaviors that help a group function. And these moments are easy to overlook because they don't stand out. They're quiet, they don't interrupt anything, and they don't require adult attention in the moment. So what often gets noticed instead are the moments when cooperation is not happening. The grabbing, the interrupting, the refusal, but cooperation is usually happening in the background in smaller ways. So during the day, instead of only focusing on the moments that go wrong, start watching for these familiar shifts. So maybe a child pausing before joining, maybe a child adjusting what they're doing, or a child helping in a small way. That's where you'll actually see cooperation developing. So again, cooperation isn't just sharing or playing together. It's all the small ways children adjust, participate, and stay connected in a shared space. And when you start noticing those moments, you'll have something real to build on. So that is it for this video, and I will see you in the next one.